Okay, in this video we're going to look at matching up the second part of the H1 right here. Also, notice that I have a perfect pixel match on my word Petra, but the word Petra is not located in the right spot, and that's okay. We're going to fix that later. Right now we just want to work on this bottom text here and make this work out okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come down here and I'm going to do a contextual selector with an H1 span, and I'm going to give that a display because the span is inline by default. I can give it a display block, and by giving it display block, what it's going to do is it's going to move it down. Now I'm going to get rid of pixel perfect so you can see it. You won't see it too well because it's white on white, so let me just real quick give it a different color so you can see where it is. Okay, this is where the text is, okay? And so obviously it's way too big because it's inherited the font size of its parent font, the H1, and it's in the wrong spot. So if we look at our specs, maybe they'll help us out. We have some font sizes here, and the one with a 0.2 em, that's most likely it, because if we want to make a font smaller than what is inherited from its parent, it has to be less than 1 em, because 1 em it would be 100% the size of the font. So if I come in here and I go ahead and I give it a font size of 0.2 em, that looks like it's kind of getting it in place. It's not quite there yet. It's definitely not the same size, or it's a longer, but it's probably because it's also a different font. Okay, remember we're using this font up here, so let's go ahead and try to change our font family down here and see what we get. So I'm going to go font family, and if we look in the specs, we don't really have any other font families here, so that means it must have to be the sans serif font initially, and so we're just going to put that back to our sans serif font, and now we can see that that's matching up actually pretty good. Let's put the color back to white, so we can just take that color black out, okay, because it's inheriting from the H1. And when we look at this, if we just match up that O, looks like that's all matching up really nice. Okay, so that is all matching up really nice. The problem is obviously you can see that this is a lot further down than this. You see, this is a screenshot over here, and so we can see the P and the 1, okay, as compared to our P and our 1 here. So we got a problem, all right? But it's not really that big of a deal, because when you have this issue like this, you can sit there and mess with padding and margin and all that, but really what it is, it's a line height, okay? It's inherited the line height from here, and we want to actually adjust that line height. Well, we can actually just play with the line height and see what it is, but if we look at our specs, we actually have a line height here of 0.9. And that's kind of a pretty big clue, because it's like, well, that's probably what it's going to be. Now, where are we going to adjust that line height? We're actually going to adjust that line height to the H1, not to the span. And see how that goes. So let me put in my ending semicolon here, add my ending semicolon here, and I'm going to go line height 0.9. And when I do that, it jumps right up into place, and there it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to match things up and see how good I am. Okay, and looks like I've got a pretty nice match. So now my Petra and one of the 7 wonders of the world all match. The only problem is I don't have it in the correct position on the header. But that will be an easy thing to do, and we'll do that in the next video. But of course, before I go on, I'm going to put in my ending semicolon here, and I'm going to save my page.